Jason Sudeikis and the cast from Ted Lasso were at the White House to talk about mental health. I don't know why.
They invite literally anyone to the White House these days.
Yes.
Not anyone, just any liberal anyone.
Yeah.
Well, they invited BTS, and I'm sure they were like, who is this old man in
booking
the
these
Oval
people?
Office?
They're trying to be like, we're young. Like, do you remember they had that influencer who's like, he's a guy, but he wears like long fake nails, and he's like,
Oh, I
kind of
remember that guy.
flamboyant.
Mhm.
And he did like a TikTok where
Lost
he was
out to
like
Dylan
walking
Mulvaney
around.
in
Wasn't
the
he an
popularity
intern?
contest.
He did.
He like was an intern for a day.
Was
not
it a
like
White House takeover?
But that was the
Yeah.
problem.
Social
He was
media
like,
takeover?
all of the conservative news outlets were like, this is their intern. And it was like, he was clearly there for like
So it was a
one
bait.
day. Yeah.
So a journalist for Today News Africa, who is the chief White House correspondent for them, named Simone Ateba, got very mad because they don't call on him, and this all happened
He said he hadn't been called on in 7 months.
And look, like,
I believe it.
the more annoying part here is, as bad as that is, you have to watch this interview or this like speech that Jason Sudeikis gives where he talks about the importance of
So
mental
bad.
health. And it kind of shows you
Why?
the pipeline. It shows you the pipeline of why how Hollywood understands just how important these celebrities are.
Someone who's into Ted Lasso, please tell us why Ted Lasso is at all relevant to the issues of mental health.
That's what
in this country. Like,
I don't get it. Like, I know there's a suicide prevention walk, I think in DC this weekend. Like, is there something I'm missing? Like, why is this coming up right now?
And why
is
do
Jason Sudeikis
do
involved?
actors have to be involved in this?
Where's the
I
connection?
don't care about actors if it's relevant, but like, why the cast?
Like,
of
I didn't
Ted
watch
Lasso?
Ted Lasso, but I assumed it was about whatever the thing at the White House was about, but it's not.
No.
I just no. He's like a
Soccer
coach.
coach. Yeah.
I
Football
also
coach, sorry.
Bizarre.
Kind of feel like it's too soon because he's gone through all that stuff publicly with Olivia Wilde, and if he's trying to say I have been through some stuff, and so it's okay, like hang in there, like.
Well, if
I don't
Jason
know.
Sudeikis has been through it,
I made
then
a tweet
But that's not
last
what he
night.
said, right?
I don't know.
I made a tweet last night because I've been rewatching House, and we're on the season where Olivia Wilde shows up, and it's just, she's so unbelievably smoking hot that it's like hilarious. I'm just like, yes, we can forgive you for your cringy surface level Hollywood feminism, but my goodness, did you look like $1 million on this show? And you were such a complex character.
Well, that's how she's gotten away with being
Yeah.
the type of person
Yes.
she is for so long. Is
Yeah.
like, if you're hot enough, people will just overlook it.
But she had a
forgive
very
her for
complex
nothing,
character.
but she is very striking. I just think that she's also the worst.
No, I'm saying like who's Ted Lasso? Who's Jason Sudeikis to lecture people about mental health when he serves his ex-wife papers while she's giving a speech on stage?
He claims that
such
was
a
not
Chad
intentional.
move. I hope it was. I have more respect for him if it was. That would have been the best thing.
He's like, can you make sure she gets it while she's giving the speech?
He put out a statement like that. They were like, they didn't have a choice when he was getting served, like da 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 da. And I wish he specifically requested she got served while presenting her like I'm a lady director in her blue velvet blazer, which I have to say I'm still envious of. It's a great blazer. I just feel like she is so terrible, and good for him. She leaves him for this like young British pop star when they have like children together. Like,
That actually makes Jason Sudeikis the perfect advocate for mental health, because that must have been incredibly
That's what I
mentally
said.
damaging.
Like, it seems weird to me. Like, why is he going as Jason Sudeikis of Ted Lasso? He should just go as Jason Sudeikis, who's been publicly cuckolded. Like this
guy who has been
character
publicly engaged to a feminist.
He has to
his character in the
himself
show
by
has mental
using
health issues, so I
Ted
guess
Lasso.
That's why.
Yeah,
the
so
character on the show.
that makes perfect sense, right? So
Why-
Was that
they
put in there because of
they
his
connect better
circumstance?
with people because they understand that human beings don't connect with
This
real
is
people
what-
anymore.
But also, like, why now? Why this? It's excuse me, but it's still Women's History Month. Like, why is it?
oh, it's because women have mental health issues. That's why.
I just don't get it. Like, why?
Calm down, ladies.
No, but I'm serious. Like, okay, at least his character has some mental health issue, but like, why the White House this week? Like,
This
I
is
don't
what our
understand.
current administration thinks is culturally relevant and speaks to ordinary people, and it obviously
There's so
doesn't.
much shit going on. Everyone's got mental health
he was
issues
just
now. So
he
they're
was
like,
throwing
oh.
out all of the empty platitudes. It was
Women's
like, you
History
know,
Month.
seek out help if you need it,
No
but
matter-
also
Oh,
like
so he was
check in
speaking
with
to
your
women.
friends and
I know that no matter which way you vote, we still should care about each other. I'm like, oh God.
like you don't mean
You don't
that.
freaking mean that. You don't mean that at all.
I
Like,
hope he
none of these
votes
people mean
for
that.
Trump just to spite.
Yeah. Oh
No,
my
I hope he
God.
votes for Trump just to spite Olivia Wilde.
That would
now.
be really based.
I think it'd be hilarious. I don't think he will.
Voting out of spite.
Yeah, I like that Atiba got his moment in the spotlight though
Yeah,
here.
they don't call on him. How rude is that? That's racist too.
He
Can't do
said,
that. It's
"You're
racist.
discriminating against some people in the briefing room, and I'm saying this is the USA. This is not China. This is not Russia. What you are doing, you are making a mockery of the First Amendment."
He's right.
He said
Other people in the room called for decorum.
Oh,
They're
of
quieting
course, quiet.
African-American pleb.
Decorum is more important than free speech.
Also,
We know
Quiet
that.
pleb.
He said
That's
this
what
to
they're
Jason Sudeikis?
No, he said this to the press secretary.
This is the journalist.
So what does that have to do with Jason Sudeikis?
Because
The
it was
same
in the
day.
lead up. It was right before he went on
Lord.
stage.
Jason Sudeikis is like, how do I follow this act?
Yes, that's
Let me talk about
basically
mental
it.
health really quick.
Exactly. And then they just gave him softball questions, and
That's the
Like
worst
what?
part.
they
too.
walked out.
Yeah, like he literally talked for like 4.5 minutes, and the rest of the cast was all there.
They were just
and you
standing
know
in
that
the
our
background.
our tax dollars paid for those flights for them to all be there to just stand in the
Do we think
background.
that Biden is just a big Ted Lasso fan, and they're like any excuse to get him out?
Obama was a huge House of Cards fan,
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
Interesting.
Isn't
Loves
That
Kevin
explains a
Spacey.
lot.
what was the other one? He was big, and I think he loved The Wire too. That makes perfect sense, given that
That's a bit of more of a universal appeal.
everyone loves the
What
Wire.
TV do you think Biden is into?
We
We know Trump
Cuties.
is a news guy.
Dahmer.
Trump
Cuties.
is like,
Like,
he's always watching the news.
What's that thing on Yo Gabba Gabba or whatever?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
something with lots of colors and soothing
Coco
sounds.
Melon.
Coco
Cuties,
Melon. thank
cuties, and
you.
Coco Melon.
Oh God.
Oh no, not cuties.
Yeah, so yeah.
I miss when cuties referred to that brand of clementines.
Orange, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I don't know what would Joe Biden watch on television if he had to. I actually want to take this like as a serious question. In like one of his foggy moments when he can actually think clearly, right after the
Golf.
CIA gives him the super drugs. Like, what is it that he watches? Golf? Maybe golf. He might be watching the World Series of Baseball right now. They mentioned the World Series of Baseball during this.
Oh.
So I actually talked about this last night. I have somehow managed to not buy a Team USA hat, even though the World Series of Baseball is all the highlights I'm seeing on social media, and I keep seeing the hats, and
You
I'm
get
like,
so influenced.
and I want to buy one.
Why wouldn't you?
But I
you
don't
support our
do it.
country?
Like a good
You
consumer.
anti-
Like, yeah, I don't know. I said I want to. I actually made a post the other day. Said my Amazon list has looked a little bit like a consumerist hellscape lately, and I need to cut back.
What is your Amazon list if not consumerist health space?
I'm saying, but like the
Healthscape.
the frequency of it, the just buying too much lately that I don't, not that I don't need, but don't need right now. And I think that there's a way to put that off. So just
Your purchases always strike me as incredibly esoteric. For some reason, you're just always like looking for a vintage like Letterman jacket or like some like obscure
I did almost
vintage hat.
I did almost buy a 1980s, like a late 80s sort of Omens from Thundercats, not because I collect them, but because I had one as a kid and I lost it. And it always bothered me where the hell that thing went. And I never found out where.
I have a couple things that I lost in childhood.
Like,
that
and
it's
I
just
no clue where it
I
went.
know I put them in
Yeah.
that one place and they're gone.
Oh, I thought it was, I left it at my uncle's, and for years, every time I would go to, because my uncle, lived with my grandparents, right? So I would go there once a week, and I'd look around, imagining in the same places, imagining this time I was going to find it, and it was going to appear.
I still do that. I have things that I've lost currently that I still look around for.
Yeah. Like,
This is a mental health crisis.
Um,
clearly.
Bring in Ted Lasso. He'll talk to us about it.
Shimmy Shelley says, "Stay away from Etsy bread." Oh, I do my best. I've got a couple of Etsy related. The
Some of your art, right?
The pop culture crisis sign behind me is Etsy, and
And
then
the-
so is that right there is also Etsy. Those are both. Oh, actually, no, all three of them behind me are Etsy. Holy
Oh,
crap!
okay.
Yes, they're all Etsy. Dang it, you're right.
You just got caught in the act.
good consumer, like they
I feel
said.
like I forget
right?
to check Etsy for things, but Etsy can get kind of woke, so
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like
Yeah.
against shopping off them. But there's really no alternative for like handmade
For like Tom
marketplace
Cruise
stuff.
candles.
That I bought at a small business.
I
actually,
found-
not
I
off
found,
Etsy.
I found-
stumbled across it in the wild, and it said Brett's name.
They have a Pedro Pascal one on Amazon. I went looking for like celebrity prayer candles because I was like, maybe we can start an
goodness.
Avengers list of celebrity prayer candles. I don't know who else we'd have. I'd have a Denzel Washington one maybe, or a Wesley Snipes one. I did recently have to buy 4 or 5. I bought 5 separate 4x8 pictures of tax hero celebrities who have all done their part by not paying their taxes here against the U.S. government.
Patron saints of tax evasion.
Yes, Washington, Wesley Snipes, Martha Stewart, couple of other ones.
There's a bunch of Martha Stewart candles, and then there's also a bunch of Snoop Dogg ones, and often they're sold together.
Well, because they're buddies, right? Also, one of those like fake celebrity friendships that they're not actually friends in real life.
They might be.
They're totally not.
Well,
Mary's
maybe
like, don't ruin this for me.
They were at one point, and then now it's just business.
Yeah, it's like they have like a big candle together. That's
like
business.
working together ruined their friendship.
Yeah, like that's actually funnier that they became friends organically and then decided to work together because it would be for the lulls, and then it ruined their relationship.
My grandmother lived next door to Wesley Snipes once.
Really?
Yeah.
Brett's losing
Isn't that
his
weird?
mind.
Where?
L.A.
And for how long? They just hung out for a minute?
No, she used to see him outside. That's all I remember.
That kind of thing. It just
one of those
happens
Was he
in
out there
LA.
just not paying his water
Like my
bill,
uncle
too?
was
Good.
the director, so
Oh.
I think that's why she was down there.
That's like that story right there is right up there with like we did a whole topic the other day about some actress, and then like 2 topics later, Ian's like, I met that person at a restaurant. I'm like, how did that
I
not?
didn't even mention
He
it.
didn't
Yeah.
even mention it when we were talking
I
about
didn't
the
want to
person.
upstage you guys.
He's humble. He doesn't name drop.
Yeah, it was incredible. Look, I just think like the celebrity stuff. I noticed it most first when Obama was in office. Like, why is he doing all these late night shows? Doesn't he have work to do?
Because Obama wanted to be a celebrity,
Yeah.
and being a politician was just his way to get there.
Then it worked.
There were similar criticisms of the Clintons because when Hillary Clinton was first lady, when she did the Christmas decor, she used basically only designer things, and like all of her Christmas trees were, from like I think there was a Vera Wang tree and like things like that. Like it seemed more about showing that they were like affluent and like elite. And in some ways, I think you're right. Like the Obama presidency did the same thing. Like we're buddies with celebrities. We're like regular people, except our friends are all like beautiful celebrities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
and
still like
now
that.
Obama's daughters, both, I think at least one of them, but maybe both
Is
of
a
them
writer.
work in the film industry.
Yep, they both do.
Interesting.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.